Kuzuzangpo and welcome to our weekly news magazine Bhutan This Week with me, Kulawati. This week's top stories. His Majesty the King confers the orange scarf to Dashosangye Wangchuk of Privy Council and grants the to appoint the Privy Councillor of the Privy Council and 3 Zongdas. Bongo Chapcha MP Dawa Kelson is to be appointed as the new Home Minister. Indian government approves the new cost estimate of Punasangchu Hydropower Project 1. His Majesty the King conferred the orange scarf to Dashosangye Wangchuk of Privy Council and granted the to appoint the Privy Councillor of the Privy Council and 3 Zongdas.
Dashosangye Wangchuk, who will take over as Deputy Chairman of the Privy Council following the retirement of Dashonadu Rinchen, was conferred the orange scarf, which is equivalent to the rank of a Deputy Minister. Dasho Bharata Mangyonzen, the former Managing Director of the Bhutan Power Corporation, was appointed as Privy Councillor. 3 Zongdas were also appointed for Mongar, Tashiangsi and Shemgang Zongkaks. Mongar Zongda Ugen Sonam formerly served as a Zimpe Home or Deputy Chamberlain at the office of the Gebi Zimpe. Shemgang Zongda Harka Singh Tamang was previously Executive Secretary at the Gelifuthomde. Tashiangsi Zongda Thujisiring was previously the Executive Secretary at the Samrup Jongka Thomde. Zongdas are appointed by His Majesty upon recommendation of the Prime Minister, who receives nominations from the Royal Civil Service Commission.
Dawa Gelson, the Member of Parliament from Bongo Chapcha constituency of Chuka, is to be appointed as the new Home Minister. The incumbent Home Minister, Damcha Doji, is to be transferred to Foreign Ministry.
Dawa Gyatse has a bachelor's degree in education from Huddersfield University in United Kingdom. He has been serving as the chairperson of Good Governance Committee and as member of Parliamentary Affairs and Finance Committee of the National Assembly. According to a press release from the Prime Minister's office, the recommendation for this reshuffling of the cabinet has been submitted to His Majesty the King. Meanwhile, the Office of the Attorney General has submitted their appeal petitions against Ha District Court's judgment on the acquittal of the present Foreign Minister and Project Manager in Lakakap case. Ha District Court had acquitted the Foreign Minister on June 23rd. He was charged with abuse of functions and embezzlement of public property as the former Ha Zonda. Sonomugen for BBS News.
Customs officials at the Paro International Airport seized 17 cases of foreign whiskey and $50,000 in 2 separate cases this week. On Monday, customs officials seized the imported liquor from an Indian passenger bound for Kathmandu. A passenger can carry only 1 liter of alcohol out of the country, which is exempted from duty. The undeclared foreign currency was seized on Tuesday. The illegal currency was seized from a Bhutanese passenger traveling to Bangkok. According to the Foreign Exchange Regulations 2013, a person bringing in or taking out foreign currency worth $10,000 or more will have to declare the value at the customs point of arrival or departure. The Health Ministry has detected 29 new HIV-positive cases in the country. The cases were detected within the period of 6 months from 1st December 2014 to June this year. Among the 29 cases, 1 is a minor aged 18 months. Majority of the new cases were detected through the voluntary counseling and testing services and medical screening. A press release from the Health Ministry states that 90% of the new cases were infected with HIV through sexual route followed by mother-to-child transmission. Since 1993, 432 cases with an almost equal ratio of male and female have been detected in the country. Of it, 83 deaths were reported due to HIV infections. The Anti-Corruption Commission has detained the Bhutan Health Trust Fund's Executive Director for interrogation. ACC detained him on 18th July for his alleged involvement in the fraudulent export and import businesses when he was Phensoling's Regional Revenue and Customs Director. The former director, along with other officials, was supposedly involved in renting out trade licenses, bribery and collusion with importers, among others. He was the Regional Director of Regional Revenue and Customs Office of Phinseling from 2002 to 2007. Extramarital affairs and domestic violence remains the main causes for matrimonial case like divorce in the country. This year till date, 20 cases of extramarital affairs have been reported with respect, educate, nurture and empower women or Renew.
Among many women who approached Renew for help is a 21-year-old woman who got separated with her husband earlier this year. She found her husband having an extramarital affair.
Even during my delivery time, I called my husband saying that I am in the hospital and he was not there. Since he was on tour, he said he will come after it's over. After that, he kept his phone switched off and later he told my sister that he has another woman in his life.
Her former husband had met another woman through a social networking site. She, along with her child, is currently living with her brother. She is yet to get her full alimony from her former husband. She said it is going to be difficult bringing up the child all by herself.
Just now, there isn't much problem since my child is so young. Those who have both the parents can provide their children with whatever they want. But in my case, since I am earning low income, it would be difficult. Moreover, once I start living by myself, I'm concerned that I will not be able to provide the needs of my child.
Case like this is not an isolated one. Last year, Renew recorded 27 divorce cases. The Supreme Court has also been seeing an increase in matrimonial cases in the country since 2012. From over 2,300 cases in 2012, it increased to 3,073 until last year. Apart from extramarital affairs and domestic violence, a report from the Renew states denial of resources and services, rape and emotional abuse as other causes for matrimonial issues. Sringzam for BBS News.
Going by the record maintained with police, a few youth in the country have been abusing paint thinner, a solvent used to thin oil-based paints or clean after using paints. The number of youth abusing the solvent has increased in the past 2 years.
Records with the police show that youth abusing thinner in the country has been increasing. From 13 cases in 2013, it increased to 16 last year. Until 30th June this year, there were 9 cases reported. Dr. Pakila Dukpa, forensic specialist at the National Referral Hospital, said thinner contains harmful chemicals which are categorized as volatile substances considered health hazardous.
The immediate effect could be death from overuse. So death could result from depression of the brain, central nervous system. And death could also result from so many other causes because when they are under the influence of this, this produce intoxicating effect and they lose their coordination. So it has so many effects on the body, mainly on the central nervous system, the brain, even on the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, organs.
He added that painters and other people who use paint thinner should use protective gear such as face mask and avoid direct contact with the fumes of thinner. Abusing paint thinner, police said, is a petty misdemeanor with imprisonment ranging from 1 month to 1 year. Damchsam for BBS News.
The Indian government has approved the new cost estimate of 1,200 megawatt Punatsangchu 1 hydropower project at 93.7 billion Newton, excluding the interest accumulated during construction. While the project authority in Bhutan is yet to receive an official confirmation, officials from the authority said it would be cleared within a few days' time.
The project's managing director R.N. Khazanchi said the issue was on the Indian Union Cabinet's agenda held 2 days ago. The approval of the cost estimates of the project would mean the project would receive new sanctions from the Indian government to continue its construction. For the last 7 months, the project has not received any funds from India as the new cost was yet to be approved. While this has not hampered the construction of major components of the project like the dam, R.N. Khazanchi said it has slightly affected other non-critical areas where the project has not made payments to contractors. The project is being built with 40% grant and 60% loan from the Government of India. The project would be complete by 2019. Nirup Gelson for BBS News.
The government would lose a revenue of 16 billion yutam from rescheduling of Punatangchu 1 hydropower project's completion date from November 2016 to 2017, according to a joint audit report. However, with the recent completion date extended to 2019, the revenue loss to the government is expected to be even higher.
The audit report on the project stated that for every extension of the completion date, proportionate revenue to the government was lost. The notional revenue loss was, however, calculated on the previous cost estimate of 82.6 billion neutrum. Since the total cost has now increased to 94 billion neutrum, the revenue loss to the government would be much higher, the audit report confirmed. The relocation of dam has also cost the project an additional 4.5 billion neutrum and not 1.3 billion neutrum as previously envisaged by the project authority. With the dam height at the new location remaining more or less the same at around 70 meters below riverbed, the estimated cost saving of neutrum 500 million due to reduction in the height of dam was also not achieved. The audit report stated that the project's cost has escalated due to improper decision in the relocation of dam and geological surprises. This cost escalation, according to the report, would also lead to increase in the tariff rates. The report mentions further delay in commissioning of the project would have a direct impact on the capital cost of the project and hence push tariff rates. According to a study, electricity from Punatangchu 1 hydropower project could cost as much as 4 neutrum a unit if the project is completed in 2017. Today, Bhutan sells power to India at an average ₹2 a unit. Nirup Gelson for BBS News.
Audit findings for the year 2014 show increase of irregularities by almost 3 times compared to 2013. Last year, the irregularities amounted to over 630 million yutam compared to a little over 261 million yutam in 2013.
The highest number of irregularities was reported under the category violation of laws and rules. It amounted to over 263 million yutam. It was followed by over 136 million yutam under the category shortfalls, lapses and deficiencies. The possible causes of irregularities is attributed to poor enforcement of relevant rules and regulations, lack of supervision and monitoring, non-regulation of advances as per Financial Rules and Regulation 2001, and lack of due diligence, among others. Under the budgetary agencies, the highest amount of irregularities was reported under autonomous bodies, amounting to more than 239 million yutam. It was followed by the Ministry of Information and Communications with irregularities of over 85 million yutam. Under the non-budgetary agencies, Tungsam Cement Corporation Limited had the highest amount of reported irregularities of more than 179 million yutam, followed by the Bhutan National Bank Limited with irregularities of more than 29 million yutam. Chetan Dupchu, BBS News.
Muddy water began to flow at first from the taps and all of a sudden it ran dry. That's how the problem of drinking water shortage in 4 villages of 2 kyoks under Paro started. It has been almost 3 weeks since then.
Around 80 households of Shaba and Dokar Gyoks draw drinking water from the stream. Villagers said the stream used to be cleaner than how it is now.
At first, we thought the water would become clean again in a day or 2, so we didn't inform the Tsokpa or anyone else. But it didn't. Forget about water for the animals or the fields. We don't have water even for ourselves.
Naba, one of the villagers from Siluna, said the problem started since last year.
We haven't informed our Thokpa thinking the water would become clear again like last year, but it hasn't. Now I think the mud might have blocked the water pipes because there's no water flowing in the taps.
With no water sources nearby, residents of these villages have to fetch water from other places.
There is a place around 6 kilometers. I drive and get water from there. While some pay us to get water for them, others walk there.
We have to walk for about a kilometer. It looks close from here, but we have to cross several valleys and hills. There is no road, so we have to walk.
Isuna Primary School has also been affected as they share the same water source with the villagers. With the school due to resume from the midterm break, Sange, the school's vice principal, said they are considering closing down the school temporarily.
Just the next day after the school was closed, the water was red and undrinkable. At first, we thought maybe it was because of the rain. But it was not. We even sent our caretaker to check at the water source, and he told us the water from the source was muddy. We tried filtering the water, but that was not possible. We are going elsewhere to get drinking water.
The Mende Isuna Thokpa said he has informed the Geok office. He said there are a few extraction and construction works going on near the water source. But without expertise, he has not been able to pinpoint the cause.
There are around 3 stone quarries there, and I asked them, but they denied causing any damage. I asked the forest officials who extract timber there, and they too denied it. There are also works going on for a school, but they have also declined. Almost 100 households are being affected, and I'm now hoping the government will do something.
The Dokar Geok office said they are awaiting the Thokpa's report before taking any measure. In the meantime, Shaba Geok office has not received any reports from the 2 affected villages in the Geok. Compiled for Rishikese in Paro, Sonomongdi, PBS News.
People of Wancha Geok in Paro have decided to appeal to the parliament regarding the final Thomde demarcations for the Dzongkhag. They say the delimitation is not in accordance with the draft map approved through public consultation earlier.
Around 20 residents of Wancha Geok gathered at the Geok office yesterday to discuss on the newly declared Thomde demarcations. People said the draft delimitation included only Paro and Bondi town areas under the Thomde. However, with the latest demarcation, 3 chiwoks of the Geok fall under the Thomde.
It's not that the people don't want a Thomde, but they want the earlier map which had been made in consultation with the public. It was the one which was sent through the Dzongkhag Tsokdo.
People said with the new delimitation, Wancha Geok will be left with only 2 chiwoks under its administration. While some villagers shared the fear of losing the fields, others are worried about the high urban taxes and separation of a community. The Dzongkhag Tsokdo's chairman Phuptsring said the issue was also raised in the earlier meeting with the election officials prior to the release of the final delimitation.
There was a group of officials from the Election Commission who came to discuss on the draft demarcation map for the Thomde with the public. There were around 75 of us, including Geok officials and public, and everyone was in disagreement to the draft map.
He added the Geok administration also sent an appeal letter to the Speaker of the National Assembly to relook into the matter, but nothing was done. The Election Commission of Bhutan said since Thomde boundaries are approved by the parliament, the issue is not in their control. For now, the villagers are yet to finalize on the date of appeal. For Yeshigetse from Paro, Sonomugen, BBS News.
The road widening works along the national highways and the irregular domestic flight schedules have affected the number of tourist arrival in Bumthang. A record maintained with the Hotel Association of Bumthang shows that till June this year, only about 7,000 tourists visited the Dongkok. Last year, the figure was close to 11,000 for the same period of time.
Majority of hotels in Bumthang depend on tourists for income. But rooms in some of the hotels have not seen even a single tourist since last month. According to Hotel Association of Bumthang, the number of tourists visiting the Dzongkhag has declined from over 35,000 in 2012 to 24,000 last year. Pema Dawa, the president of Hotel Association of Bumthang, said the bad road condition due to road widening, which is further worsened by the monsoon, has adversely affected their business.
Road widening started from 2002 and it is happening till now and not yet finished between Thimphu and Bumta. To reach Samdujongkhar, I think the government will take another 50 years. Without customers, hoteliers are finding it difficult to meet expenses. They are not able to repay their loans, pay insurance and salaries to their staff.
According to hotel owners, since most of the tourists visiting Bhutan are elderly people, it is difficult for them to wait for hours in the roadblocks. Although there are flight services as an option, hoteliers said it is not regular.
The Garilam Lishum maybe Dinalo did that Namdugia, Dinalo Ashiragi.
The road condition is bad, but even the flight service is not functioning well. If they can put additional flights for tourists, it might help a lot. If the services are good, tourists are interested to visit Bumthang. Flights are suspended for 2 months due to monsoon and maintenance works.
Maintenance be celebrated though ingire khongia the kaksha be bedolo dilu tap madu di bomra dosi shuni.
While hotel owners are aware of the long-term benefit of road widening works, for now, they say constructing temporary bypass at places where major works need to be done and closing routes alternatively could help ease their situation. For Komal Kharka in Bumthang, Sonamongdi, BBS News.
Well, that's all we have for this week. Do join us again the next time. Until then, on behalf of the team, this is Kulawati saying goodbye. Have a great weekend.